Something I was going to ask, going back to talking about the Airbnbs and the company, you sold your IT company. If you were in your IT company and then you switched to real estate, that's one question I wanted to touch on. What was the decision like? Like, why did you choose to go into real estate?
Well, I didn't want to work. No, in all seriousness, the goal is passive income.
Yeah.
But what you find out is it's a misnomer. Unless you're an LP in a deal, a limited partner in a deal, being a passive investor is I think it's a misnomer. But I've kind of changed my whole being around work because I think that we were made to work. Like I get this picture of like in ancient times of this kind of God with his hands in the dirt, like creating you and me. And then, so when it says, that we were created in the image of him, we're created to be creators. So that's why I think like when you're given a specific job, hey, you got to go in at 9, you got to get off at 5, and you got to do these 8 things, people get really burnt out. But if during that time you choose to go above and beyond and be really creative and do things kind of outside of the norm, go above and beyond, at the end of the day, you just have this sense of fulfillment. Have you ever noticed that in yourself? Like when you put in a good day's work and you do a lot of creation, at the end of the day, you're just like, man, that was a good day. And you just sleep a little better. Mm-hmm. Whereas when you leave a lot of things undone and you live a life of just resenting somebody who told you to do a bunch of things, you don't sleep as well, you don't have this sense of fulfillment, you tend to get depressed a little bit more. I just think retirement is this whole kind of weird thing that humans created, but work is this is something that we should embrace. 100%. Because you can, and real estate is a real life, like see something coming out of the dirt into fruition or something old made anew again. Like to me, it's just a real life picture of like, man, this is being creative. Yeah. I love it.
No, I couldn't agree more. I think me and Jesse are on the same page. Like, we love real estate more than anything. And I'm so thankful because, a lot of people, they do hate their job and they do go to 9 to 5 and they resent it. But like, sometimes I feel guilty talking to other people. I'm like so excited about what I'm doing. And I just genuinely love brokerage, love investing, love meeting people like you and, people we get to interact with on a day-to-day basis. I'm like, this is literally what God made me to do. And I just get so fired up doing it. So I'm so thankful. But you talk to other people and they're like, you go to like a family event or like a dinner with a bunch of friends or something. And like half the time, all of them are like, yeah, man, like, I'm taking next week off, but I have like 3 days that I can take off until I'm done for the year. And man, I got to go back into work tomorrow. People just don't like what they're doing. Yeah. But I couldn't agree with you more. It's like, if you're doing something you genuinely enjoy and if you're fortunate enough to be able to do something that, you feel like God made you to do, you don't really feel like you're working. Yeah. And also too, there's that stat. I can't remember what it is exactly, but like a lot of people after they retire die within a couple of years because they feel like they lose that sense of purpose and meaning. And that's scary. I don't think we're ever planning on retiring. Kind of one of the goals when we started this podcast was to document our journey. We had no commercial real estate. Now we have 2 buildings and then we're partnered in 4 more. So about 6. That was within a year or so. So we were able to make some decent progress, but the goal is never like to make a bunch of passive income and then retire. It's to, people say like be able to do what you want, when you want, where you want, with who you want. And it's like, really, for me, it's like work on the things I want to work on, which we're already kind of doing. But I agree with you 100%.